Hello, this is Raging Worlds, and today we're going to be going over a lot of things in this video, and you can already tell what it's going to be due to the title and thumbnail of it. Now, what we're going to be going over is number one, the copyright abuse, and then we're going to be talking about this doxing situation because it's not what everybody thinks it is. And then we're going to be going over some other things that also need to be explained. But overall, after watching this video, you will understand everything you need to know. So you probably know who Krono Katastrophy is, as he is prominent in the PS2 community, and recently I've had some drama with him as I made a video on his girlfriend, Skull's Nightshade. She had made a very poor video on who was to blame for the state of the game, and she blamed it on the players and said that we took away her happy place. I found that funny, so I made a video on her. And once my video had reached 731 views, it was taken down by her personally. And this was kind of funny considering how she gave the impression to me that she didn't really care. But apparently, I guess she was afraid my video would reach 1,000 views, so it got taken down. So what I did was I sent a counterclaim, which didn't work the first time, but it worked the second time since I made a more detailed response. After I sent a few questions or emails to Skull Nightshade to see if the email in question was real, because I wasn't sure if the person who actually took down my video was Skull's Nightshade. I was, but someone pointed out that it could be someone impersonating her. So I contacted the email I was given by YouTube to see if this person was actually the real deal or not. One of the emails came out wrong and it looked all messy, so I had to send her another email. And then after that, I think I went to a group chat thing or something like that. I don't know exactly what it was called. But after that, a few hours later, I would get an email by their boyfriend, Krono Katastrophy, and he would tell me to cease these emails and that he'd be talking with me from now on. We didn't email each other for very long, but what I realized is that this guy had no idea what he was doing. He had no idea what copyright abuse is, and he continued to prove this throughout his recent video on him being doxxed, which is something we'll get to later. Now what I did was I wanted to show these emails to the Discord that I was in and explain what was going on with me. Now the issue was that his name was on those emails. So what I had to do was I had to take them down and I had to repost them. Even after reposting these, they were still there because I didn't realize that they were in the messages that I had sent him, and it was just in one of them. So I had to take one of them down. My mind was so focused on censoring his name next to his Gmail and where he said thank you. And because I was so focused on censoring that part of the email, it did not cross my mind to reread to see if I had said his name. And as it says on the email that you are seeing, I did not post these in the Discord not expecting people to read them, especially in a public Discord. So this literally just didn't cross my mind. This literally just wasn't in my head. So I don't know what happened, but there have been times before where I was focused on just one particular thing to the point where like the most basic shit doesn't even cross my mind. And unfortunately, this happened in this situation, in this like particular scenario. And for that, I really apologize, to be honest. And on a subconscious level, I don't even think I wanted to reread that post in the first place, because whenever I thought about that particular post that I made or that email that I made, it just seemed kind of cringy to me, how I was over explaining how long it was, how I was being so nice, how I used examples like Ultimate Spider-Man, all of that stuff. And I only happened to see the post again when I was just skimming through your video, Krono, so yeah, I don't know what happened, but I really do apologize. Though I do want to let you know that I did not dox you. When you dox somebody, you are doxing them with malicious intent. You do not dox anybody by accident. It's always malicious. And keep in mind that Krono doesn't know about this yet, because if he did, he would have brought it up in his video. So if you're wondering why I missed this, then you can now ask yourself, how did I miss this? How did I not think to check this? How did this not cross my mind? How did I not read this? So whatever you were thinking, I was most likely thinking the same exact thing. I'm telling you, I missed this. This was not intentional. So based on what I told you, if you know that what I did wasn't intentional, then we should both agree that I didn't dox you. I heard that these were leaked outside of your Discord as well, so for that I also apologize, because this would have never had happened if, I was just a little more careful. However, you coming to me with an email with your name on it is something that I have to address, because it's going to be very important later in the video. Now what we're going to be doing is going over fair use and what Krono says about it, because it's clear that he's using these mental gymnastics to convince himself that he's right when in actuality he's wrong.
Used clips directly out of her video. Nothing was changed from the clips. There wasn't like difference in editing added to it. There wasn't like difference, like nothing transformed or differentiated from the clips, which is important to mention because we're going to talk about that too. It was just straight clips out of her video with other things sliced in between.
Alright, so where do I even start? So no, all I needed was her very short clips that were in my video, and I also had other footage in my video, and like you said, that footage was sliced in between those clips, which is transformative content. Now what this guy is saying is that those clips in particular need to be changed, and they don't. All I need is to make sure that I have my own original footage, my own original content, and that video will be transformative. I don't need to change anything about those clips that I had in my video in particular. And just like in my last video, I will have my video available to download in the link in the description so you can see it for yourself. And when I was making that video on skulls, I was making sure that these clips that I had of her were very short compared to the stuff that I had, compared to the original stuff that I had in my video. So what I don't understand is why you feel the need to use these mental gymnastics to help prove yourself that you're right when you're actually wrong. And the crazy thing is, I could probably put in a lot of footage from that video that was taken down into this video and not have skulls in that entire video without having to censor her or anything, because once again, a lot of the footage was of my own video. I just had very short clips of her in that video to respond to. Now you're going to be seeing this image here, and I want you all to pretend that this is Nightshade, alright? Pretend that this is her own image, pretend that this is from her own video that I made on. Because she's obviously going to have a mental breakdown if I use any images from her video or any clips from her video to showcase an example of what I'm talking about.
You see people saying the game is dead, and only negative comments. I know I wouldn't play that game.
Which would be very wise of you, because you would be taking the information that people are giving you and maybe doing a little bit of your own research and then realizing, hey, this game is a piece of shit, I'm not going to waste my time on it. So basically what I did was I had, had a clip of her saying these things, and what I did was I then responded to it with my own commentary and with footage for you guys to watch as I am commentating. And while this is basically what my video is, when it comes to my commentary, it takes a lot longer for me to finish responding to what she is saying compared to the very short clips that are in this video, or in the video that was taken down. What this person basically wanted me to do was take the clip and then, I guess edit it somehow, make it look better, or maybe zoom in, maybe add some dots or polka dots to it. I don't know. Either way, it's obvious that I don't need to do either of those things.
I'm young, you know what I'm saying? I'm very young. I for every situation I grow, and I change, and I got to become a better person.
Okay, scams? That's one thing. People have to be stupid enough to believe you, but they have to opt into your scam. Charles Darwin might describe that as the natural selection of wallets. But when you fuck with this many channels, when you fuck with people's livelihoods, when you screw with all these people who have done you no wrong, then all your past apologies and excuses go right in the dumpster.
I'm not that smart, I'm gonna be honest, bro. But as I go, I get smarter and smarter, bro.
No, Speed, you followed in the footsteps of Jim Carrey and gotten dumb and dumber.
So as you can see, Ackman had clips of Speed in this video, and he didn't change anything about those particular clips. But he didn't need to. All he needed to do was respond to what he was saying, and that's what he did. And he also had his own edits and his footage in the video. And while his video is better than mine, it still doesn't change the fact that it's basically what I was doing with my video. And I've already explained this to you, but I don't need your permission to use footage from your video or from Skull's video. Because what fair use is literally the exact opposite of that. You don't need the owner's permission to use their video as long as your video falls under certain categories. And one of those categories that my video falls under is criticism. And these clowns already confirmed that they submitted that copyright claim because they thought that I needed their permission. Well, no, I never needed your permission. So you already struck my video down for the wrong thing. You didn't even do any research, so don't expect me to take you seriously anymore.
It was just straight clips out of her video.
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
Okay, so now that we've gone over that, I want to talk about the real reason these guys actually took down my video.
I just kind of like, whatever, dude, like, I don't care. Like, it's not a big deal. Ignore, ignore, ignore. People keep bringing it up, ignore, 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 to the point where, like, it's starting to become a situation, like, where we actually watch the video all the way through, and it's so gross. Like, it's just kind of ridiculous. I'm like, honestly, you know what? That video just has your clips, your information in it, your information in it, your information in it, your information in it, your information in it.
I have no knowledge of any of this. This is so bizarre.
Like, it's partially just your data and your info. Like, copyright strike the video. Like, just take it down.
Are you serious right now, bro?
Okay, so you already know that I had more than just her clips in my video, and we already went over this, so I'm not going over it again. Now, understand that there wasn't any information about her on that video. But once again, you guys will be able to download the video that was taken down, and you will be able to watch it if you want to. So you can check this for yourself, but yeah, there isn't any information about her in that video. So I don't know what you're talking about in particular, or whether you're just talking out of your ass. At best, it's most likely some ridiculous technicality that's going on here. I don't know. But either way, they've already confirmed that they didn't really take this video down because of copyright or anything like that. They took it down because they were disgusted with the video, because it was gross to them.
It's starting to become a situation, like, where we actually watch the video all the way through, and it's so gross.
Got him. We fucking got him.
You don't take a video down just because you dislike it. And another thing is, this video could actually be giving you more attention than you realize, just like how your recent video has actually gotten my channel more attention as well. So you don't go around taking down people's videos just because you dislike them. You have to take them down because they're actually, like, obstructing on a copyright or something like that. But that's not what was going on here. You took it down because you disliked the video, and that is not right. You know, you should be very ashamed of yourself for encouraging your girlfriend to make such a miscalculation on your part. Encouraging this kind of behavior is the worst thing you could have ever done. Sure, she's an adult who can make her own decisions, but like, come on. You know that she isn't mentally well because you yourself aren't mentally well, and it takes one to know one. So there you have it, guys. They took down my video because they couldn't just ignore it and decided that it was offensive to them and that it made them so sad that, you know, they just had to take it down. So there you go. These guys want to act like I was just bullying them, when in reality I was just giving up my many criticisms. We've gotten photon arts, but like I wouldn't say we've gotten enough of them, because, you know, back in base Pulsar 2, there were so many photon arts in that game, and it felt like there was a lot of variety to how you could play. But the reason why there isn't much variety in NGS when it comes to combat is because we are lacking in photon arts. And for that to be confirmed that they're not really working on that shit, or they don't really have any plans to work on that, is insane. And many of my criticisms are just like this, so I have to assume that they must be talking about the memes.
Jeder hat mich belogen, sogar die SS! Die gesamte Generalität ist nichts weiter als ein Haufen niederträchtiger, treuloser Feiglinge!
Mein Führer, ich kann nicht zulassen, dass die Soldaten, die für Sie verbringen...
Nicht als Feiglinge! Verreiter, Versager!
Mein Führer, was Sie da sagen, ist ungeheuerlich!
Die Generalität ist das Geschmeiß des deutschen Volkes! Sie ist ohne Ehre!
And like I told you in the messages that I sent you, that these memes are simply meant to entertain and hook the viewer. You may not find it funny, but other people do, and I find it funny, alright? So don't get mad at what Hitler says to you. Memes aren't really meant to be taken seriously, so I think you should know that. And stuff like this is why I decided not to watch the whole entire video and just skim through it, because I don't need to go through all your stupidity. The thing is that you clearly don't know what you're saying, so I'm not just gonna waste my time and watch the whole entire thing. I already know what you went over, and what you went over is probably everything that is like going to be in my video in the first place. If there's something I'm missing, if you know, once again, I think I brought this up before, but if like someone says I told someone to commit suicide or something like that, let me know so I can correct that and say no, that's not true. But other than that, I'm pretty sure I don't need to watch that whole entire video. I don't need to put myself through that torture.
No. 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 Hell no. 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 I refuse. No.
But yeah, anyways, I think when it comes to these guys being copyright abusers, I think I've already proved that enough, so it's time to move on to the next subject, and it's going to be about some other details and some other, you know, bonus things that I need to talk about. Now, as for the letters or messages that I sent your girlfriend or whatever, like I told you before, I needed to confirm that it was her. I have no reason to not expose a fraud email that's pretending to be her, because pretending to be somebody is fraud and it's like downright criminal. So I have no reason not to expose that email if it's a fraud email. And that's also why I said time is ticking and gave them 7 days, because I don't have any patience for that kind of stuff. All they really needed to do was DM me confirm that it was indeed them, and that's all I really needed. We also need to talk about why is it that I wasn't the only one that was in your video? Why is it that other people from the Discord were in your video, and why you were wasting time criticizing what they were saying when you should be focused on me? I believe 1 or 2 of them complained that you didn't even censor their usernames, so it's like, hey, maybe it didn't cross your mind, just like how what I did with you didn't cross my mind. So I guess we're on the same page now, and I think we can understand each other to a degree that we have some things to work on, alright? By using your Gmail that had your name on it, you basically gave me your information, and that probably didn't even cross your mind. Now, once again, I didn't mean to do what I did with your information. I already explained it all, but I think you have to understand that just like how some things didn't cross my mind, things didn't cross your mind. So if you can understand, or if you're having problems realizing how come this didn't cross my mind, that's the same thing how I was thinking when certain things didn't cross my mind. Now, do you understand how much chaos can be caused when you copyright abuse like that? Because you have to understand, one thing led to another, mistakes were made. Yes, mistakes were made, believe it or not. And it all leads to this. If I were a bit more competent, if you were a bit more competent and smarter, a lot of this stuff wouldn't have happened. And really all you needed to do was just ignore that video. Alright, because honestly, you knew damn well that that video goes under fair use, but you were using mental gymnastics to prove to yourself that it wasn't, when that in reality, my video was indeed under fair use. Don't you think it's about time that you and your girlfriend Skullshade should just get off of your high horse? Because I mean, I think a lot of people are sick and tired of it. Skullshade, I made that video on you because you said that we took your happy place away, and you blamed the state of the game on the players, but mainly because you said that we took your happy place away, which makes no sense. We are not responsible for how you feel about the game, or we're not responsible for your happy place. We're sorry that we took that away from you, but really that's your fault for allowing these negative opinions to affect how you feel. If these negative opinions drive other people away from the game, then that's not our problem. It's their problem, alright? They made that decision. I mean, you guys are adults. Most of the people that are playing this game are grown-ass men and grown-ass women, or if not, young adults. Some of these people who are playing the game are minors, and whenever I see that shit, don't get me wrong, I will record that and get you banned.
Mods, crush your skull, thank you.
Because you don't need to be playing this game. This ain't GTA V where, you know, you can have a bunch of 10-year-olds playing that fucking game. No. There's too many erotic role players in that game. There's too many lewd people in that game for you to be playing that game.
Hey, you have a pretty nice ass. How's this?
But other than that, there are many grown-ass men and many grown-ass women who are playing this game, and they can make their own decisions for themselves. So if they are deciding that because of those negative comments that they want to leave the game, then that's on them. You can literally block somebody in that game and never see that character again. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. If they didn't even want to listen to it, they didn't have to. The reason why there are negative opinions of the game in the first place is because people generally just dislike the game for valid reasons. And when these reasons are fixed, you might start getting a lot of positive opinions. But for right now, people just generally dislike this game. But no matter how valid the reasons are, it's literally just that you want everybody to have the same opinion as you, and that's not how life works. So honestly, I think what you need to do is realize that the only person who needs to be positive about the game is you, alright? Nobody is forcing you to be negative. The issue is you blaming the players for everything. And when you do that, people are going to criticize you. And that's what happened here. That's why I criticized you. And what's worse is that you censored the comments of the video that I made on you. And you can call me toxic all you want, but those comments had pretty valid criticisms and they were pretty constructive as well. They were very nice of you, and they just said that they disagreed with you and they listed their reasons why. Now, if there were actual comments that were attacking you and were just being straight up rude to you, then you would have to be looking for those comments. But if you weren't doing that and you just found the general comment section and you were just looking at what people were saying and you weren't looking for that, then you literally just censored the comments because you just couldn't handle what they were saying even though they were being nice to you. So please get off of your high horse. The only reason you are stressed is because of yourself, alright? Don't take down videos that disagree with what you're saying. Don't copyright strike videos that disagree with what you're saying, especially when the video is under fair use, alright? I don't know why your boyfriend encouraged you to do that, but he was wrong to do that and you were wrong to listen to him. Now, I did not have to do this, but what I decided to do was I decided that I was just going to use the audio from their video and that I would just not use any footage from their video, or barely any footage from their video. So if they take this video down, then that means that they are copyright abusers, but they were copyright abusers already. But it's just gonna make them look even more bad if they take this video down. My video is in fact under fair use, and I've made sure that you guys basically have no excuses. Really, you didn't have any excuses to begin with, but now you don't have any. So this is a fair warning. Do not take this video down under any circumstances. This video is under fair use and there is nothing you can do about it. And if you do, I promise you there will be consequences for your actions. But other than that, I think that's all I have to say when it comes to this situation and what's gone on. But thank you guys for listening, and I hope you stay tuned for my other videos if I make any or anything like that. Because for right now, I'm just completely done with the situation. If there's anything that comes up, of course, I'm going to make a video on it. But keep in mind that I'm not on my Twitter often, and I'm not even on my YouTube often because I have another main account that I use. So keep in mind when it comes to that, like if there's something that comes up, somebody is going to have to, tag me on Discord or something like that, a friend of mine or something like that, and I'm going to have to cover it, alright? I'm not going to immediately know if something comes up, so if something comes up, please be patient for me to get to it, because, I'm not on Twitter like that. I'm not on the YouTube like that, I'm not involved with the PS2 community like that, okay? Like, I'm not some big YouTuber who's going to automatically know when something happens. But other than that, guys, take care, stay safe, and I hope you really enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.